And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another weekly review with The Robot, brought to you by the Movie Pope. And here he is, bolts and nuts akimbo, The Robot.
So, anyone seen AVP? If you haven't, you're not missing much. If you have, well, I really don't know what to say other than are you still functioning? Can you tie your shoelaces? Are you not allowed to use real scissors? Combining the franchises into one movie may sound pretty cool, but there's a pretty decent track record of it not actually working out the way it should. While it may seem cool in the comics, translating it to film doesn't exactly have the same panache. But enough chit-chat, let's dive right in. Xenomorphs fighting predators. Hell yeah, it's a cool concept that would make any nerd and fanboy geek out hard. However, there really isn't much of a story, just a series of exposition that goes on about who these creatures are. And really, there isn't much in terms of improvement, because what kind of a story could you possibly construct around an interspecies throwdown? Also, we love the early Alien and Predator films because they're wrapped in mystery. We have no idea about who they are, only that they're there and they cause mayhem. And no, jump scares don't count as storytelling. Additionally, I'm not really sold on the idea of incorporating ancient aliens, but what can you do? That show was all the rage back then and people were eating it up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Furthermore, having that Weyland-Yutani reference seems to just cheapen the whole deal. You can have callbacks, but maybe not have them be so obvious. Chronologically, there is simply no way to reference the Xenomorphs because technically our first encounter with these creatures is set hundreds of years in the future. I'd very much appreciate my extraterrestrials to just be unknown entities and let the movie roll with it. Although, it is nice to see Lance Hendrickson on screen. In the first Predator movie, Dutch is the one to best the hunter. In the second, Harrigan manages to kill one of them. Ripley continuously kicks the Xenomorphs, but over and over again. With the exception of Dutch, most of the survivors are people with no discernible combat skills, and in this movie there's no exception. Of course, we know the military guys are getting the red shirt treatment, but Dr. Woods, surprise, surprise, is the final girl. And, in keeping with tradition, she's just a guide, and isn't experienced in the art of war. Considering just how chaotic this movie is anyway, it almost seems irrelevant to mention, but I figured it was worth it because, well, there really isn't much else to mention. And, just like Harrigan, she gains the Predator's respect and is gifted with a souvenir at the movie's conclusion, although maybe they could have given her a ride home. Leaving her there in the middle of Antarctica seems like a jerk move, you know? Yeah, we get it. The Predators come to Earth to hunt the ultimate prey, the Xenomorph. Ultimate killer alien showdown for the ages. When all is said and done, you're thinking to yourself, wow, that's finally over. But wait, what's better than having these monsters fight and tear the place apart? How about a hybrid? And you know someone in the office is thinking, boy, wouldn't that be a cool concept? What better monster for the Predator to take down than a hybrid? I mean, seriously. You've already cheapened to beloved franchises, now you're gonna do this. But hey, pandering equals more ticket sales and that means more dough. Again, this wasn't too well thought out because they failed to account for the fact that the audience isn't as stupid as you thought. On behalf of the fans, may I say, thanks a lot, Fox Studios, you really did us a solid. In case you didn't notice, I was being sarcastic. Now we gotta spend the next few years trying really hard to forget this travesty ever existed. And try as you may to reboot and retcon everything, it's a stain that just won't go away. Alien vs. Predator is one of those movies that isn't supposed to make a lick of sense, it just wasn't designed that way. It's there either for background noise or when you want to turn your brain off and indulge in gore and swordplay for 90-something minutes. It is formulaic and following the trends of its predecessors and doesn't really add much to the franchise, which isn't saying much as its successors don't either. It's an expensive way to pander to fans and, while cool to actually see these two monsters duke it out, overall you're not missing much. But hey, if you enjoy this kind of mind-numbing free-for-all and don't give a lick about substantial plots or compelling characters, then have at it. Thanks for watching, and if you don't mind, please leave us a like. It helps a lot. And while you're at it, subscribe so you never miss an episode drop. This is the Robot signing off.